Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Great Day Houston. Okay, so our first guest learned from the best. She was sneaking into honky tonks late at night. What emerged is a modern country artist with a sound and attitude shaped by old school musicians. With over 4 million streams, fans are liking it. Payton Howie is making her mark in country music. She joins me this morning along with her band. We will hear them all play in just a few minutes, but first, let's get to know Payton. But first, let me say, bienvenue. The reason why I'm saying that is you just got in from France.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Like literally, how long ago?
Like a couple hours, literally a couple hours ago.
This is what youth does for you. You got in from France, you look good, you're all awake in the whole bit. This is crazy. Okay, you were born in Southern California, but got to Texas as fast as you could.
Fast I could, yes, ma'am.
How did you grow up?
I grew up like just loving playing music. I was running around the house singing, everyone telling me to stop, you know?
Yeah.
Just like that.
Raised in Willis?
Actually, I moved to Willis in about 2020.
Oh, okay,
there,
okay.
Yes, hanging out
what
on
part
the
of
lake.
Texas did you grow up in?
I didn't, so I actually grew up in Southern California.
Okay, all right. You're born in Southern California, but okay, and then moved to Willis just a little while ago. What brought you to Texas? What made you decide that you had to come here?
No state tax.
No state tax.
There you go. Yes, ma'am.
Say that out loud.
That's right. Yes, ma'am.
But you did grow up in a musical household where your mom loved country music and your dad loved classic rock. So therein lies, the best of both worlds there. All right, your family owned and operated many businesses, and that taught you a lot about work ethic.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. For sure it did. They were always telling me, do what you love for as long as you can until you can't anymore.
Yeah, until you can't.
Yeah.
I think that sounds like a song, right?
It is.
All right. At 5, your mom took you to your first concert.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
And something magical happened.
Yes, it was Carrie Underwood on her Some Hearts album tour, and she literally brought me up on the stage. I was out dancing in the aisle. She brought me up, and I will never forget it. That was like such a crazy moment. We're sitting there singing, and I love that album to this day.
Yeah.
So good.
And you say such a crazy moment. Describe that feeling.
Just like looking out and seeing everybody's faces and just like smiling and singing along. It was just really just seeing what music does for people, bringing people together, just made me fall in love with it even more.
It's such a different perspective because you're in the audience. You don't think how much can it change when you just, and one of your band members is over here nodding her head. Yeah, how much could it change just being on the other side? Speaking of band members, let's go ahead and talk about who they are this morning. We got over here who?
This is Kat O'Brien.
All right, Kat O'Brien, okay. The drummer is always the cool one in the back that no one can see right away, right? And then all of a sudden you part the C and then there they are back here. And this is
Chris Vargas back here.
Chris,
you see him? Let me get out the way.
There you go. There you go.
There you go.
And then over here?
This is Mark Adkins over here on guitar.
Yeah. All of that came about because you had to methodically go through the process. And sometimes people look at where you are, but we don't remember how you got there. At 10, you taught yourself guitar.
Yeah, I started watching YouTube videos, started learning how to play, and it just, I love it.
Yeah, so the young generation, y'all have such an advantage today because before it was like after school, get your guitar, go down the street and around the corner, take some lessons from somebody.
Hey, that's true.
Yeah, but you had an old parlor guitar that belonged to a family friend. And then you took that next step, and that is the writing piece. And then you start performing. One thing to get up on stage with Carrie Underwood, another to say, okay, I'm ready to get out on the stage by myself now.
Absolutely. That's I love it. It's so fun.
You recorded covers in your bedroom like all of us did. The difference is most of us didn't end up on a stage somewhere. That our permanent stage was the bedroom, right, with the radio. All right, learning in honky tonks. What a great place to really learn. And so you were sneaking in?
Yeah, when I was real young, about 13 years old, and where I grew up, there was all these honky tonks, dive bars and places, and the musicians were so cool, they'd know I'd want to come in. I'm not legally allowed to be in there, and so they'd leave the back door propped open with a brick. I'd sneak in there, and we'd sit at their feet and just listen to all these songs they were playing, classic country, classic rock, blues, all that stuff.
Yeah, which is your sound, but you basically, they became your early mentors.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, musicians nicknamed you Youngblood.
Yes, ma'am.
And you pay homage to that with your debut EP.
Yes, ma'am. I thought that would be a perfect name for it. They used to call me Youngblood, always being the youngest in the room. They're like, hey, Youngblood, you know, so that was it.
Who are the artists growing up that kind of shaped your sound?
I remember being in the back seat of my mom's car. Reba, Loretta Lynn, Carrie Underwood, Gretchen Wilson, some of my favorites for sure.
You found a Johnny Cash biography at a gas station while you were on tour.
Yes, I was out in Nashville, and I did. And I found a biography, and there was a song in there that I read, and he said something for like, we're always all of us are somewhere between jail and Jesus, and that was inspiration for one of my songs.
Between jail and Jesus, there's a lot that goes on between jail and Jesus.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, so that process of a lot also goes on between defining your sound, and you mentioned some of your influences there. What does it take to go pen to paper? Because it's not necessarily, sometimes you hear that person who says, I just sat down, whipped out a cocktail napkin and wrote this song, but there's a process that goes on there. Sometimes when you ask people, okay, how come it took them so long to do a debut album, where it's a process?
It is, and every song's different. Some days it's like you got this lyric, some days it's you got this melody, and especially being on the road and just like you experience literally everything you could possibly think and you never imagined, and brings a lot of inspiration for sure.
Yeah. How do you come up with titles and things? I think in country music, some of the best titles are in country.
Oh, and like 90% of the time when I come up with something, it's when we're all driving. I'm usually driving, we're driving the bus down the road, and it's like 3 a.m. and everyone's sleeping, and I'm like, ooh, pull my phone out and record a voice memo.
Yeah.
That's usually it.
Yeah, you have those tools today. All right,
yes,
sharing stages with your favorite artists, that's kind of where it comes full circle, where you're up there with them.
Absolutely. I've had the opportunity to be out with some of my favorite artists. We got to spend 2 months on the road with Lucas Nelson, Willie's son. Got to do a show with Lainey Wilson, Parker McCollum. We've had the opportunity to do stuff with Garth Brooks, Trisha Yearwood. It's been really cool. Gretchen Wilson I mentioned as well.
And Parker and Lainey were both on this show right before they started winning all their CMA and awards and things. And it was funny because they were just like, one of our goals is just to play at the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo, which we now know they've done several times. So you're on your way. And as we would always tell them, I told you in the green room, because I have to say this to all of y'all so you just understand, okay? You have to understand. When you get all big and stuff, don't act like you don't know us.
Now you're my girl now.
Okay, this is good. Yeah, lady came back, she goes, I'm never gonna forget y'all. Great day, Houston. All right. The road hasn't been easy. Again, what I said earlier, we see where people are, but not what it took for them to get there and where you are now. So many times people think, I'm gonna be a singer. But it takes a whole lot more than just I'm gonna.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's a country song.
More than I'm gonna.
It takes a lot more than I'm gonna.
Take a lot more than I'm gonna.
Run with that one. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. I'll give you credit.
But your best advice for someone who says music just is my passion. I know I've been pressured to do other things, academically, but music's my passion. I want to make a go of it.
Yeah. Top 2 things is be true to yourself and surround yourself with people that believe in you as a human being. That's really important because you're always gonna have people telling you, oh, you got to do this, you got to do that, and then next thing you know, you look around, where are they, type thing. And I've been really, really fortunate, really lucky to have some amazing people in my corner that are down for the ride, down for anything, and encouraging me to, write what I feel and play what I love, and we all get to play music with my best friends. It's cool.
Now we're going to have a bunch of young kids sneaking into honky tonks too. All right, your latest music, Truck Bed is your latest single.
Yes, ma'am.
Take us behind the title of that.
Yeah, so that was a really fun song. I got to write with 2 of my good friends out in Nashville, Brady Seals from Little Texas, the band Little Texas, and Bill White. He's a great writer out in Nashville. We sat down and wrote that song. It was real fun and funky, just had a fun little groove to it, and it's been really fun, especially for the summertime, getting to be out and playing it, and especially in France, seeing people sing along. I was like, dang, they can get down truck bed out in France.
Country plays around the world, doesn't it?
Yes, it really does, yes.
A lot of it's uniquely American, but plays around the world. All right, we're about to hear Payton and her band, but when we come back, what started as one pizza shop in 1978 in Ohio has grown to more than 1,200 locations in the U.S. and beyond. In Houston, they're serving up more than just pizza, how your next order could help put food on the table for local kids facing food insecurity. All right, Payton Howie is performing this Wednesday at the Do-Si-Do Big Barn in the Woodlands. Tickets start at $15 and doors open at 6:30. For tickets, visit greatdayhouston.com. Now here's Payton with her latest single, Truck Bed.
Take it outside. You can save your money, baby, maybe for another time. What you think about putting your tailgate down and love beneath the big old pines? Don't need a $100 penthouse suite overlooking Vegas. Luxury sheets, 600 each, chips and bread. Hello, a place where you save around a 4x4 can take us. Listen to the crickets and the ribbit and the frogs instead. How about a truck bed? some gasoline. Ain't gotta tell nobody where we're going. Ain't nobody gotta know where we're at. You can leave the phone on, let's take a gravel road, or we can drive it right off the map. Oh, don't need a high dollar bill, sweet overlooking Vegas. Luxury sheets, 600 each, chips and bread. I know a place where you sit around a 4-mile floor can take us. Listen to the crickets and the ribbit frogs instead. How about a chocolate? Don't need a high dollar penthouse suite overlooking Vegas. Luxury sheets, 600 each, chips and bread. I know a place where you save around a 4-mile floor can take us. Listen to the crickets and the ribbit frogs, who the owl and the howl of the dogs, underneath a blanket of stars instead. How about a chocolate?